What's up, everybody? Well, I got another TV PC gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're gonna finish up Forza Horizon 6. And I have been having a blast literally all day with this today. And, well, ever since I got back from my hand therapy yesterday and hand appointment. It was 2 in 1, so I've been having a blast. Oh, did I mention that I've been having a blast? Sorry, I'm exceptionally stoned at the moment. So, what we're gonna do is finish up here. Hopefully we won't run into any issues here. So far it's been minuscule issues, but still some issues nonetheless. So hopefully we won't have to turn off any dang settings or nothing. But hey, it's time to stop blabbing and find out. Otherwise, how are we gonna know if I'm just gonna stand here and talk for eternity? Well, this has never happened before. It recorded a black screen with just the sound, but only for the settings screen. I sat here and went, oh no, do I have to redo the entire thing? But no. So we're gonna try out extreme settings with RT on, no upscaling or anything, just DLAA. We're gonna do exactly what we did on the main PC, to a T. But all right, let's go run a quick benchmark and then we'll hop into the game and see what it can actually do in the real game. And there's actually pictures on all of those other thumbnails, so I'm hoping they actually are not broken like this. So, here we go. I don't know why the settings screen didn't work, it was just a black screen with sound, but hey, at least this part worked, so that means hopefully the actual game itself did too. But we got 55 FPS, not quite 60, but we didn't get any stutters at least, so that's nice. I feel like it's DLSS, so we'll have to see. If we add DLSS and it's got stutters, that's pretty much what I'm gonna go with. If not, then I guess I got no idea. so yet again, I don't know why it did this, but it decided to not record the settings screen, just sound and a black screen. So I figured, screw it. Instead of doing nothing and not saying anything, I would just voice record over the blackness. So now we're going to turn upscaling on, leaving everything else precisely as it was, with the Extreme preset of Extreme plus RT. And now, we do a quick benchmark, and then we game. So, we added a little balanced DLSS in there. Probably could have just gone with quality, and it probably would have been like 71, but I figured, let's get a couple extra. But alright, let's get into the game, shall we? So now, let's go ahead and turn ray tracing off, because not everybody wants ray tracing, even with a 4090, 5090, or an enthusiast level high-end system. Some people just don't want that junk. so I figured we'd test it without it too. So let's go run a quick bench with just the extreme preset. So now we got 106 FPS without the ray tracing. So that shit is heavy. But open world games usually are, so not surprising. But hey, that means you either use some DLSS and still get pretty playable FPS, or turn it off and get this.
So,
Now we're going to go ahead and turn on some upscaling. Not that it needed it. It was already getting 100 FPS plus. But hey, some people want a little bit more even on top of that. So why not? So we'll go ahead, turn on some DLSS onto quality. And then I think we'll go do a quick bench and then actual gameplay. So to the bench we go. So here's the bench. We got 125 now, which definitely is a little bit more than 106, I believe it was before. Same settings otherwise. No ray tracing or anything like that. So alrighty, why don't we get to some gaming?
Not the best, but pretty good.
let's get ourselves a little camcorder gameplay now. Absolute horseshit. Back a little bit. At least with the controller, it's going to take more time with the wheel. Alright, I guess the most I've ever beaten them that badly. Alright, anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to yet another race, for there is still much more time. Or I should pick a new car too, just to keep things more interesting. say that's probably more than good. Why don't we go wrap the video on up? Well, alright everybody, that is a wrap for Forza Horizon 6. And it ran very well here too. So, seems like as long as you have a really powerful PC, you can power through most of the hiccups. But if you have a slightly weaker PC, you might have a hiccup every now and again. But if it's anything like 5, that's kind of how that one started out. It was kind of hiccupy at first on some systems, and then after a little while they fixed it. And it was like butter smooth. So hopefully they'll do the same, and then if they ever do, I will absolutely come back and test it some more. Probably not quite as thoroughly as I did with this video, but at least come back and test the settings that worked the best and see if they work even better. Something like that, you know? Either way, I had a blast making all these videos, but now the time has come to do some editing. Although I think I'll wait till tomorrow to do that and just enjoy playing the game just for myself up until like 4:20 in the morning or something like that, and then start editing all these fresh in the morning, you know? But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I absolutely sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys today. So, I would give you a peace out with that hand. I'm sure you could see it and just go, oh, he's doing a peace out, but until I'm being stubborn, until that pinky works better, if it ever does, we'll just keep doing left-handed peace outs. So peace out, and until the next video.